maneuverability and in political acumen and prowess, Wike is way ahead. He is. I'm speaking on national television. I have worked with two of them. I should be able to give an assessment. Thank you. Any trace of neutrality around him, what's there? Go ahead and do whatever you want to do. But in this case, it was clear. Say people who contrived the entire arrangement had left the camp to us. And coming to us, they came with a barrage of information that they have concerning what is going on there. And we said, okay, if that is the case. You see, we also adopted some legal tactics, such as bring people to enter or ask for gender and all that, believing that the man was going to rule on those issues so that we may apply, we may appeal. He refused. He decided to join all together. And at the end of the judgment, at the end of the day, the particular day he was giving the judgment was the day he was dismissing those applications for gender. So there's no reason. What you can now appeal against is the entire bundle of documents. So that's where we are. And I said to you that we're not scared. We're in court of appeal, where you have Senate judges. Please.
That was Tony Okocha, the ruling All Progressives Congress National Working Committee chair, talking about the situation in Rivers State and, of course, through the pressman, disclosing categorically that without the alliance with Nyesom Wike, the former governor of Rivers State, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu wouldn't have won the votes of Rivers. That would be one of our talking points today during our analysis segment. Meanwhile, chieftain of the All Progressives Congress, a member of Edo Integrity Group, Prince Emmanuel Odige, has alleged that the party is planning to manipulate and rig the upcoming governorship election using the Vice President Kashim Shettima, Senate President Godswill Akpabio, and the Chief of Staff to the President Femi Gbajabiamila. VOP News also gathered that Odigwe made this known during an interview with a Monitor television program just yesterday, stating that President Tinubu is aware of the purported plan and will be on holiday during the September elections. While criticizing the current state of political affairs in Edo State, Odigwe noted that part of the APC's rigging plan also includes using the police to intimidate voters on the day of the election. He also promised to appropriately reveal evidence of these claims, underscoring his commitment to prioritizing Edo's development over partisan politics. Meanwhile, a former Minister of Education, Obiagile Ezekwesili, has said some provisions of Nigeria's 1999 Constitution as amended are fatally flawed. Mrs. Obi Ezekwesili said there is a lopsidedness of centralization in the Constitution. She advised the National Assembly to stop the amendment of some sections of the Constitution but initiate a process for a new Constitution. The founder of School of Politics, Policy and Governance said the country is yet to achieve potentials as a great nation because of the flaws in the Constitution. Ezekwesili argued that the country may not reach its full potential with the current Constitution as drafted. Meanwhile, according to Vice President Kashim Shettima, he disclosed that President Bola Ahmed Tinubu is the most demonized Nigerian politician, even though he has a good heart. This was while he was reiterating his call on Nigerians to trust Mr. President. According to him, the president is not a corrupt politician. Shettima said, in quote, Tinubu is not in power to engage in primitive capital accumulation, nor is he in power to leave landmarks in the sands of time. I'm not playing politics, I'm speaking from the heart. I have seen the soul of Bola Tinubu and he has a good soul. He is the most demonized politician in Nigeria. The vice president assured Nigerians that in the coming months, the country would witness a positive change in the economy and fortunes of the nation. Mr. Shettima said the realities inherited by the Tinubu administration demanded urgent action to ensure that education was not only accessible but also desirable for every Nigerian child. You're currently listening to the World News at 12 on Voice of the People, 92.3 FM. We took a very short break. When we return, we're heading to our news analysis segment. This time, I'll be speaking with Barrister Darlington, who is a political, national and social affairs commentator. Barrister Darlington will be responding to some of the questions posed to him on the World News at 12. Do kindly stay with us. Barrister Darlington, good afternoon. Thank you for joining us on the World News at 12. I am fine. Can you hear me absolutely well?
Yes, I can hear you.
All right, Barrister Darlington, here is a scenario. Tony Okocha, the one of the caretaker committee of the APC, the All Progressives Congress National Working Committee in Rivers State, recently made a disclosure to journalists while, there was a question and answer session. And he was talking about the situation in Rivers, where he said that the High Court sitting in Port Harcourt that nullified the sacking of Emeka Becker-led executive of the APC in Rivers State will not hold. And during the process, he disclosed that without an integral alliance with the former governor of Rivers State, Wike, the President Tinubu definitely wouldn't have won Rivers State elections. Now, I want you to know that this is not the first time Tony Okocha had made brazen statements like that via a public forum when they were talking about the local government elections, when the Supreme Court ruled in favor of the local government. Tony Okocha made a disclosure that while he was the chief of staff to the former governor of Rivers State, Rotimi Amechi, that they write election results right in the chief of staff's office, and then they tender it to INEC officials, and their job is to announce. According to him, there is usually a plan on how these things go. All right, at all the regional levels in the state, they have already made their own settlement. Now, what's your take on this statement that Tony Okocha made?
My take is that all he has done. This is just the Tony Okocha. Wike have not said his own. No, he has said something. He said he bought for all the National Assembly members, the governorship, the state assembly members. That is why he is controlling them, telling them what to do and what not to do. Can you just imagine, Esther? Can you just imagine? And you say you are in a democracy. Can you just imagine?
Barrister Darlington, I don't want to use the word confusion because as journalists, following with the political trends in the country, wouldn't say that some of these things are quite surprising. But what is ironical here, or which seems to be like a paradox, is the fact that this is the second time in a public forum he's made such statements. Nobody has called him to question. Nobody has asked him to give them more details on what he means by this. I don't know what the process or procedure is like. But do you think if he continues with such statements, how does one understand? No, Barrister Darlington, you cannot generalize like that. There are persons who actually voted for the APC. There are persons who, on their own, without being influenced, actually voted. So you can't generalize that without whatever, they wouldn't have won.
There is no way, with what they have performed so far. How can anybody tell me that APC is worthy to get his or her vote in Nigeria today with what they have done in office? I mean, is it not obvious? What they are planning is how to reach, because they know that in a free and fair election, they will not win one vote anywhere. They cannot. Let that person come out and tell me on what basis will APC win an election in Nigeria? What is the parameter? What is the basis for them to win any election?
For staff. All right. Now, this was made via on a very monitored television program. So it was a public statement. It was made in full glare. There was nobody's trying to utilize anyone's words, without appropriately stating what it is. Now, this was made on Thursday, and he also alleged that the president is aware of it. Unfortunately, at the time, the president is going to be on holiday during the September election. So what does that stipulate? What does this mean if this person who belongs to the APC is making such a statement? And don't you think the statement he's making is indicted?
Oh. The line is with you. It's not clear enough.
Can you hear me? Go ahead.
Hello?
I can hear you, Barrister Darlington. Go ahead.
Yes, what I just told you now has been vindicated by the man you mentioned. You said he's an APC secret. Is that not true?
Yes.
So the man has told you what they are planning to do. I mean, as if I was with him when he said that. That is the only thing APC is good at, rigging election, because they know they cannot win a free and fair election. So I am not surprised at all. Nobody should be surprised. The only thing now is that we should watch against such a move. They did it in 2023. They did it in 2029. They did it in 2015 and succeeded. It is time to stop them. Esther, it is time Nigeria stop APC before they finish whatever is left of our electoral system. They have committed the crime against all of us. We must stop them this time around from rigging elections.
All right, Barrister Darlington.
Everybody should do.
Still in this conversation we're having, Vice President Kashim Shettima has come.
Esther, the line is woozy.
Okay, I'm going to place you on speaker now. Can you hear me appropriately?
Good. It's clear now.
All right, Barrister Darlington, before I let you go, Vice President Kashim Shettima has said that President Bola Ahmed Tinubu is the most demonized Nigerian politician, even though he has a good heart. He actually made this call on Nigerians to trust the president. According to him, he says, Tinubu is not in power to engage in primitive capital accumulation, nor is he in power to leave landmarks in the sands of time. He says, I am not playing politics. I am speaking from the heart. I have seen the soul of the president, and he has a good soul, but he is the most demonized politician in Nigeria. And he went ahead to talk about going to his house in Bordelon, looking to see a mansion comparable to Buckingham Palace with gardens and swimming pools, but that there was nothing special about that house, that his house in Maiduguri is even better than the house of the president in Bordelon. He's assuring Nigerians that in the coming months, the country will witness a positive change, that Nigerians should be patient with the president because he has a good heart. Others have said that when they went to visit the president and they were eating normal food, that the president declined. He rather chose to drink normal gari. So the question is, what does this mean? And where is this coming from? Could it be because of the agitation of Nigerians during the End Bad Governance protest? That's why the vice president is saying this? Or is he just...
It's the election. This people that Financial Times of London is telling us that the humongous wealth of Tinubu, they don't know the source. Can you imagine? This is Tinubu that is holding for Lagos in bondage. Which Tinubu is he talking about? That is what? Hold on. You mean after saying that I will not go and relax and say, yes, sir, let Tinubu explain to us all the scandal in Chicago State University. Let him explain it first.
Well, he said the president is not a corrupt politician. He said the president is not corrupt. That Nigerians should trust the president, that he's not a corrupt person.
Exactly. He is even attracting attention to Tinubu. By saying all this, he's deliberately demarcating Tinubu. But he doesn't know. Who is he going to tell other one? Is it Nigerians or the outside world? Let him tell Tinubu to explain what the article brought from Chicago State University. If that is not corruption, let him explain to us what is corruption. A president who could not identify himself up to today, a president, we don't know where he came from, we don't know his parents, we don't know the source of his wealth. And Shettima is telling me he's not a Ghana politician. Let him tell that to the Marines, not me. Can you? Is that how to share the character of your president? The man is deliberately making mockery of Tinubu, but he doesn't know. How can you say this type of thing for a man like Tinubu? Are you telling me that Tinubu instead of don't know who he is? For you to be saying all these things, are you telling me that Tinubu as a person doesn't know what he represents? Can Tinubu come out and say this about himself?
Who are close to the president said he has a good heart, he has good intentions. It's possibly because of the region he's from, and that's the reason why there's a lot of encapsulation, isolation, and criticism on him.
If he has a good heart, let him uphold the rule of law. Let him release him Nnamdi Kanu, whom he has detained and refused to release. Let him release him now. If he has a good heart too.
But the presidency has said it's not within their disposal. The matter is in court, and they're working on that. With its own.
The court have already said. The court have said you should release him. Leave court. Leave court. Just Igboho and the Showore, which because they decided their case before they left. If he has a good heart, you will not be playing tribal politics. He's his first person there, by on another. Everybody had what he said against Igbos. When he was contesting the election, we saw what he did against Igbos. Which president has a good heart? He does not have. I don't even think he has a heart, not to talk about the one that is good. From what he has done so far, under 1 year in office, everything has gone down south. And you are telling me, which heart? Answer, which heart? You don't need to tell us you have a good heart. Let your actions speak for you. Which heart? He has brought embarrassment all over the world against Nigeria. Look at what is going on in France today. A president that has a good heart. He's not even thinking of the image of Nigeria. It's all about his own selfish heart.
Well,
if he has a heart, he would have been a very poor order.
Well, Barrister Darlington, you're not in the corridors of power. You're not close to the president. You have not visited Bodilon. You don't know what the interior of Bodilon is like. You don't know you've never really seen the president to have a relationship or a conversation with him. Possibly Shetima knows where he's speaking from, being the fact that he liaises with the president on a daily basis. He's possibly observed him at a close quarter for him to say what he's saying.
Shetima has not been in Lagos. He has not lived here. I have been here. All the 8 years of Tinubu, I was here. I know what played out. I know what Tinubu did in Lagos, and he's still doing up to tomorrow. So look, please, I don't even know what to reply this man. Let him go and search his conscience. With the profligacy that Tinubu has displayed, is that the attitude of a man who has a good heart? Let Shetima answer me. Even he himself, that was the same feather. We know what happened about the keyboard desk when he was there as the governor. We know what that Shetima did, and now he's trying to say Tinubu say, look, that one is a past tense. He came late to church. Tell him that he came late to church. That Nigerians have moved on.
Barrister Darlington.
There is nothing he will tell anybody about himself and Tinubu. They are best of the same feather.
Barrister Darlington, a couple of people may argue with you and say that you're speaking from a one-sided perception and not the generality of the... Okay.
Tell them, hold on, tell them to come and face me, all of them, including Bayononoga. Let us debate it. Let them come and face me, and let us see where that the good heart is coming from, where that the good character is coming from, as far as Tinubu is concerned. Is it because we just want to keep quiet? If it was opposition, if it was PDP that he was in opposition, I mean, in office, and Tinubu and his APC are in opposition. We don't tolerate Tinubu. We don't tolerate such a person as their president. We don't accept it. They will not. Else I say will not. So what are you telling me? How can you have a president who doesn't come for he don't come for debate? Up to today, we don't know where the economy is going. At least if you got to talk, we must know the direction of the economy where you are going. Everything Tinubu has told us since he came into office, he has reversed all of them.
But you say he didn't come for debate, but he went to Chatham House where he was able to disclose his manifesto and his campaign promises along with his aides.
He took it to Aerofy and other people that would have us. And Shetima come here and talking what is not.
Barrister Darlington, we've run out of time. Thank you so much for taking your time to share a perspective on the world news at 12. We sincerely do appreciate your input. To wrap up here again are the top stories. Fuel scarcity looms again. APC National Working Committee rejects court judgment on Rivers chair. APC chieftain speaks and plans to use Shetima, Akmabi, Gbajabiamila to rig Edo elections. And Vice President Kashim Shetima discloses that President Bola Tinubu is the most demonized politician in Nigeria, stating he is not corrupt. That's a wrap on the World News at 12. My name is Esther Wachuku. Good afternoon and thank you for listening. Up next is Area Matter with Alaji. Just stay with us.